Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We had to take a quick little hiatus because I caught the vid.
Yes, you did.
The vid 24, if you will, the new remix.
Stay away from my house.
Yeah, Chad didn't want me anywhere near him. I was a little offended. I was like, we've shared germs before. I don't know why this is an issue now, but I'm back.
Things have changed.
I am healed. Finally tested negative on Friday. So, been back at the job, been back to life.
Where do you think you got it from?
I have no idea, dude, because I would had to have. I think Dan said he was sick at practice. He's like, I've kind of got like a cold or something. That was on Monday. So that's when that would have happened. I feel like that's too long because I didn't start feeling sick till Thursday. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know. I didn't really go anywhere from Wednesday to Friday.
It happens, man. Could have been at the store. You never know.
Who knows, man? But here we are.
All right. We're back. Episode 108.
Yes, episode 108, man. It is episode 108. I am Chris Zane, as always.
I'm Chad Lee.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yes. It's been a week. We forget how to run the show, so, that's just usually how that goes.
That's so
You take some time off, and, you forget things.
That's right.
It happens to
We're
the
a little
best
rusty.
of us. But, we are back. We are going to have a guest on here shortly. A little bit of Raiders action. We're going to get the lowdown on the Raiders.
I didn't even realize that kind of works out because you guys are playing them this week.
Yeah, we are playing them this week.
You
it's
guys
the
get so many easy
Raiders
games.
week. Yeah,
Jesus.
Hey, we are all playing the NFC South, so, that's for everybody.
The other games, you guys get some easy wins, man. So jealous.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
We almost got that one against you guys. Almost.
I know, and I was bummed we didn't get to talk about it, dude.
I was getting ready to fire off so many fucking funny texts, and then dashed in 1 second left.
Alex Forsythe had to ruin it for everybody.
Damn him, dude.
Yep.
Chiefs saw, a weakness, and they exploited it.
Yeah,
and then it happened this week again.
Not with you guys.
No, but I mean the same scenario.
Yeah.
Finishing seconds of the
Packers.
Packers Bears. Bears were getting ready to win, and
that could be the play that gets Matt Eberflus fired. It may not be like this year or like in the season because the Bears owners don't do that.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, man, I mean, it's like you had 36 seconds left. Like you had a timeout. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Hey,
not?
people said with the Broncos, why not just keep going? You were driving. Why stop? But hey, you know what? Hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it didn't happen. But it was an interesting week in the NFL this week. Interesting week in sports in general. We'll just touch on it right now to get it out of the way because I don't want to spend too much time on it. But the fight of the century.
Yes, that's true.
Which, if you were able to watch it, I mean, I struggled to even watch one of the preliminary fights. I got to watch the whole chick fight, which was cool with Serrano and Katie Holmes or whatever her name was.
I heard it was really good. We didn't turn it on till the Tyson fight, but I watched a lot of the highlights, and man, it's insane how those Jake Paul promotions and whatever, those fights, they're all so corrupt, man.
Yeah.
I looked on Twitter.
I don't know how that chick lost.
Exactly.
She landed like 140 punches more.
Thank you. That's what I was going to bring up. She landed so many more punches. The other girl got a point deducted because she kept headbutting her, and then she still won.
Eyeball wide open.
It's more scripted than WWE, man.
It is at this point. And that's really, I've heard a lot of people talking about that about boxing is like it is now just like a sanctioned WWE. Like all it is the hype leading up to the fight, and then more often than not, the fights are bunk.
Yep.
It's happening in the UFC too with some of these judging decisions. We didn't have any this week.
Yeah, this weekend it was really good.
There's been some questionable, I don't know how you saw that as a win for somebody when they clearly got dominated, but, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
But, Mike Tyson looked like a 58-year-old man.
Not his butt cheeks, though.
No, his butt cheeks nice behind. That was so funny. I did get to see that right before it cut out. And I was like, why did he kiss that guy on the cheek? I didn't realize that reporter was his son. Did you see that whole interaction?
Yeah, I kind of did, but I didn't know that was his son either.
Yeah, I didn't either. And it made it for a really weird interaction because they didn't tell you. Or maybe they did, and it was just cutting out so much I missed it. But yeah, so he thanks him for the interview. and then kisses him on the cheek, and then turns around, and then they pan to Mike Tyson, and it's
insane.
just he's wearing his like boxing girdle, and he's just his little behinds hanging out.
Totally
dude.
out. Yep.
Yeah,
Now it's turned into a great meme. Like, for example, last night, been used to say just show something that's ass. And last night there was a good one right after the Monday night game where they had the Cowboys logos right over his ass cheeks. Yeah. Internet is undefeated.
Yeah. We'll get into that later, as apparently the sky is literally falling in Dallas. So
Jerry Jones, his world is falling apart, man.
It's pretty funny to see it happen in real time. And then I haven't heard his response yet after the game, but I bet his little media scrum after the game was quite entertaining.
Yeah, I think the only quote I heard was, "We did not play very well." I think something along those lines.
I saw that he was deflecting today that Mike McCarthy has lost the team, which, I mean, I don't know. CeeDee Lamb, every time they cut to him on the sideline, I feel like he's just ranting about something.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's not looking good. I feel bad for, what's his name?
Micah Parsons?
No, the quarterback.
Dak?
No, the
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush.
Okay.
I almost called him
like,
Cooper Kupp. Cooper Rush. Do you think he's bummed that he has to do the whole "here we go" thing for his cadence?
Oh, dude, I know. That's a good point. I heard that last night. And I was
heard him doing it, and I was like,
why does he have to do this?
Whoa. They're making him do it. Like, if it's one thing if Dak's coming back, like, okay, don't mess with the flow. But Dak's done for the year. Let the guy do whatever cadence he wants, man. He's like, here we go. And I hate that.
That'd be like Bo Nix going in there and being like, Omaha.
Yeah, Omaha.
You got to create your own thing, man.
Yeah. Do your own thing, man, for reals.
It's so strange.
But, yeah, so we are going to have Tyler Larson on here shortly from Behind the Eyepatch.
Yep.
We're going to get some insight into what's the thought process over there in Las Vegas, and possibly see who they think they're going to be going for with maybe the top pick next year. Who knows? Top 3 at least.
Yeah, they're going to be up there.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
It's going to be interesting to hear from someone that, he's trying to root for a team that's obviously not going very far. So
not this year. Yeah, it's already basically over.
Yeah.
But, what are you going to do? They can't all be winning seasons, unfortunately. But, yes, they are looking pretty bad right now. The Jaguars, I think, are the only other team worse than them at the moment.
Browns, I think, are I think they're 2-8.
2-8. Yeah.
How many wins do the Raiders have? Do they have 1 or 2?
They're 2-8.
Yep. Okay.
Jacksonville now 2-9.
Yeah. Jacksonville seems in worse shape, man.
Who's surprised that Doug Peterson still has a job? I mean, that, I figured after Sunday it would just be like, that's it, dude. Wow. Like, that's it. Like, it's one thing to get your ass kicked, but like to not even remotely stop them one time, like it's like the Broncos 70-20 game. Like, there's such thing as just getting your ass kicked, but I'm just surprised after everything else with the fact that they've got Mac Jones in there now for the last 2 weeks that they're not just. I'm surprised Shad Khan's not just dropping the hammer on some people. Yeah,
you would think he would. Go AEW on him.
Yeah, that's the one he owns. That's right, AEW. Yeah. And then, or no, never mind.
Drop some elbows.
Yeah, drop some elbows. Do a extreme match with like nails and thumbtacks and barbed wire bats.
ECW.
Yeah,
man.
ECW.
That was a crazy time back in the day.
Yeah.
Dude, I finished that Vince McMahon documentary.
I did. I couldn't watch. Well, I haven't started watching it yet, but it looks like it's pretty rough to see. I guess it
was really interesting. I mean, it's definitely eye-opening on it just seems to be like if you're a really like those penultimate human beings that can just like create something and dominate that thing for a while and be better than everybody else, you're going to have to be a jerk.
You're going to have to be weird.
You're going to have some flaws.
You're going to want to have to poop on some people or something.
Something like
some
that,
weird
dude.
stuff.
There's
I don't know.
Always some weird shit
some
going
weird
on.
stuff.
It's like there's really nobody out there. I mean, there's, you could look at some of the human history's greatest leaders.
Well, I mean, it's like a lineage there. His dad was like the main guy there for a while, then he took over, then
he totally
Shane
changed
tried
up his philosophy. Shane didn't really have a big part of it. It was a lot of it was
he was just kind of like in like the storylines,
storylines,
yeah.
But his daughter was the really one. I want to say it was Stephanie, I think.
Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, she was the one that
I remember back in the day, she was quite the looker.
Still kind of not too
yeah,
bad.
I mean, she's not bad at all. But
man, talk about someone who I wanted to bring this up because this is another thing that was fun to watch. We're just going to get into our weekends real quick.
Well, we got to call him here shortly. But
oh, you're right. Yep, it is 5:40.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about Martha Stewart later. Don't let me forget.
I've heard that's a pretty...
It was awesome, man.
Somebody said it wasn't very good. Oh, it was Andrew Santino said it wasn't very good.
I wonder what he said about it. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we're going to get a Raiders insider on. He hosts the Behind the Eyepatch Podcast and operates their Twitter.
Yeah, so we're going to call him right now, Mr. Tyler Larson. Give me a second here as I maneuver to here and press this.
What's up, fellas?
What is up, Tyler? How's it going, man? Thanks for hopping on with us. This is Chris Zane here.
And this is Chad Lee. Thanks for coming on, man.
You are welcome. Not a problem.
So, big Raiders fan.
Fire away.
What's up?
Yeah, so just so you got a heads up, you are dealing here with, I guess, rivals, so to speak, in fandom. I am a Broncos fan, and then my buddy Chad here is a Chiefs fan. Believe me.
I don't know what tandem could be worse than that, honestly.
Yeah, well, we're not going to say it here, but there's choice things we could say about, the Raiders fandom as well.
True.
But, yeah, we are.
There's a lot of choice things I could say about the Raiders as well. So
yeah. Dude,
we'll agree to agree on that.
Go ahead.
No, I just said we can agree to agree on that.
Okay,
that's for sure. Yep.
Well, give us like a little bit of the temperature right now being a Raiders fan. I mean, I know that this season at this point is kind of like a punt, so to speak. You're basically looking down the line trying to see where you guys are going to line up in terms of the top picks. But Brock Bowers is definitely a shining star for you guys. I mean, this week alone, he's done some things that haven't been done before just from rookie tight ends. I mean, what do we have here? I think his receptions this week, he had 11
receptions.
11 receptions on 13 attempts, and he also is leading all tight ends with 385 yards after the catch this year. But the big question is, who do you think is going to be throwing him the ball next year?
That's a great question. He also leads all tight ends by almost 200 yards. Receiving. So 706, I think the next closest is Travis Kelce, if I'm not mistaken, at 500 something. But he really, honestly, you asked me about the temperature. The temperature of this team is close to like absolute zero. Men, like human beings, have never reached absolute zero, even in testing in labs and stuff. And that's about where the Raiders are. I would say the one, like you said, the one shining spot, Brock Bowers. Talked to my buddies, Micah and Birch, about this a little bit too. Part of the reason why I think he is such a shining star is there's literally no one else to throw the ball to.
Yeah.
Our offense is, Devontae Adams, before he was traded, lukewarm at best, drops consistently, those types of things, attitude kind of stinky. But as far as who is throwing to him next year, it really depends on if the Raiders end up doing what they should and lose out some games, or if they win some meaningless games and drop down to like the 9th pick like we have been for several years. And so as a fan of the organization, my hope is I honestly don't mind Cam Ward.
There you go.
I would be very happy with Cam Ward. I stay away from Carson Beck. I stay away from Milroe. If they were there in like the 3rd or 4th round, I would maybe take a swing on those guys. But, gentlemen, we're talking about perhaps the worst class ever of quarterbacks to ever enter the NFL draft. And this is well documented. There is maybe, I don't even know that Cam Ward, the other popular name is Shedeur Sanders.
That's the one I wanted to talk to you about because of Tom Brady's connection to him.
Right. And honestly, like in if you even put him in last year's draft, as far as quarterbacks are concerned, with Jalen Daniels, Drake May, I know I'm missing freaking Caleb Williams. I mean, you're talking that those two are probably not even in discussion as first-round picks. They're probably second, third, maybe even fourth-round picks. Personally, I don't like Sanders. I don't like his game. I don't know. I'm not a GM, but there are just things that concern me about his game. Everybody thinks of him as this mobile quarterback. He's really not. He has a lot. I mean, he's got great arm talent, but it's not fantastic. I mean, the ball doesn't exactly jump out of his hand. It's not like an Anthony Richardson where you're banking on he can tame that cannon and just make throws that other people can't. And I don't think he's as athletic as Anthony Richardson is either, which you're also hoping that, you know, you can tame and provide some stability there. Cam Ward, he did really well at Washington State. He moved to Miami. Miami's gotten better. Sanders played at Jackson State, not a really, great powerhouse, but, they got better, became a pretty good powerhouse. Then they moved to Colorado. I watched them play last year, and the excuse was he doesn't have an offensive line. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that. This year he's got a better offensive line. They're actually winning. And so I don't really know if it's him that's doing that or if it's the team around him that's gotten better. And honestly, the Raiders had a quarterback like that who didn't really elevate the talent around him, needed a lot of perfection in Derek Carr for many years. And that scares me. If I'm taking a swing, I'm going with Cam Ward because of the intangibles that he possesses. And I'm hoping to find a coach that can get him the right offense, tailor that to his needs, and develop him and use those talents. But if it's me, I like Cam Ward better. I don't really like Sanders a whole lot. It has nothing to do with his name or his personality. It's just on the field, I don't know that he's that wonderful. I don't see super high-end ceiling, I guess, if you want to call it that. I see a pretty low floor, and ceiling-wise, I'm not real excited about that either.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, that's the hard thing now with all these, college quarterbacks and expecting them to come out, and especially if you're in a position where you need them to come in right away and perform. It's, hit or miss on whether or not they're going to make it, and they do kind of need a perfect scenario to some degree in order to succeed. And, yeah, I could see either one of those guys. I was just wondering mainly because of the Shedeur, and I saw him with Mark Davis. I want to say it was a month ago maybe.
He's with Mark Davis a lot.
Yeah.
Basketball games and all kinds of stuff.
After every single Raiders loss, too, he'll tweet at the Raiders, Twitter, and says, "Thank you, God," as well.
Oh, I haven't caught that.
Yeah, he does that as well. And then, like I said, he used to train with Tom Brady. So, I feel like there's a good chance that, one of these, the CU wide receivers, one of them's probably going to go into the draft. I mean, other than Travis Hunter, obviously. But I'd say you could probably pair him with, one of the other guys in the second or third round.
And that is fair. The Raiders really need anything as far as any position is concerned. Offensive line is a need. quarterback is obviously probably the most desperate need. Without a quarterback, you see what happens. It's garbage. The Raiders rank, I believe it's like second to last in total offense, dead last in rushing offense. Defense is respectable, 14th overall, which isn't terrible considering they lost Malcolm Kuntz in the preseason. They lost Marcus Epps at safety in like the second or third game of the year.
Christian Wilkins too, right?
Christian Wilkins also went down in like the fourth or fifth week. But I mean, even this past weekend, all three, Jack Jones, Jacorian Bennett, and Nate Hobbs was inactive. So all three of their starting corners were out. So that's tough to play defense with, honestly. However, the offense has just been really unwatchable, in my opinion, and it's been pretty pathetic.
Hey, I totally, I see it and I feel for you. I do, as objectively, obviously. But how about we shift gears a little bit and, you don't have to just stew over all of the crummy stuff with the Raiders. What about the Darth Star, that Death Star they got there? Have you gone to that stadium at Allegiant?
The last time I saw it, it was still steel beam sticking up out of the ground. Okay. So I have not been back. I know that people love it. It's pretty nice on the inside. Yeah. In all honesty, I don't live super far away, but it's a money thing. I really, if they were winning,
I'd be like, I'll go drop $500 on tickets.
Well, $500 for me, $500 for my wife, because I know I'm not going by myself.
I don't want to get in trouble.
So, nope, that's $1,000. Plus, you've got hotels and gas and everything. So you're looking at about, you're looking at a pretty penny to go to one of those games. And honestly, guys, I can watch them lose just as easy on Sunday Ticket as I can in the fancy stadium. And it probably feels better at home not spending the money to watch them lose. So.
Yeah, way better, definitely. And I think that's why you see each game, the opposing team is just totally taking over that stadium. It's unfortunate because it is Vegas. There's a lot. It's a big attraction for other teams. Oh, let's go out, let's watch a Chiefs game,
and then let's go watch the Chiefs.
Watch Wade Newton later or something,
Go to the Sphere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And honestly, I don't think the Raiders have had. They haven't had a good record since they moved there, and so you've got a lot. I mean, the biggest part of the Raiders fan base, you're looking at Los Angeles and Oakland. And they're not wanting to travel that far to see. I mean, even the season ticket holders, they're like, dude, I can sell this ticket for $1,500. Why am I going to spend that money to go fly there, stay in a hotel, fly back home to just watch them? Like I said, I can watch them on the local channel. I can watch them lose just as easy as I can in the stadium. But you guys are absolutely right. And it makes me frustrated, if you can't already tell, that happens. But if they're not going to put a good product on the field, that's just going to be the natural flow of that, right? It doesn't in Oakland. Yeah, you probably had a bunch of diehards that are going to show up, but in Oakland, the tickets are $10 in the nosebleeds. They're not $600 to sit up at the top of the stadium.
Yeah.
So
that stadium just got blown up too,
happen.
I think.
Oh, did it? Did they?
Yeah, the athletic stadium.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy. End of an era, man.
Yeah, I saw a video of it getting torn down. It was crazy.
Yep, that is crazy. Played there for a long time.
So give us a little background into it. Have you been a Raiders fan since you were a kid? Are you from the Oakland area, or what's up?
No, I'm 38 years old, and I've been a Raiders fan since I was about 6 years old when my parents got me a Marcus Allen.
Nice.
I can't even remember who used to make them shut or shoot or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's the name of the company.
Pad. Yeah, the flimsy shoulder pads and like the pants and the jersey, but had a Marcus Allen jersey. And I asked my parents, like, why Marcus Allen when I got older? Like, why the Raiders? And they said, well, when the black and silver team was on TV, that's who you like to watch. You asked to watch the silver and black team. And so I guess just from an early age, I liked the color scheme, and that's where I stuck. I'm from Idaho originally, so I have zero ties to Oakland. My dad's a Packers fan. My brother's a Bengals fan.
Whoa.
And I'm a Raiders fan. So it just and we're all from Idaho. So Idaho, I get to watch the Seahawks, which I've grown to hate immensely. And I also get to watch the Broncos, which I hated immensely. So I guess when the silver and black team got to come on, I was like, yeah, I'll cheer for those guys. But no ties to the Oakland area at all. Just picked them as a kid, and unfortunately for me, they've been terrible for most of my entire life.
Well,
so,
I respect that, man. I always love hearing the stories of somebody that's maybe not from that area, but they gravitate towards a team whenever they're young and they stick with it. That's true loyalty, man.
Yeah, and Idaho's one of those states too where you kind of have your pick of the litter. You're like, I can, there's a bunch of teams around the area you could root for, But that's definitely a cool way to start rooting for the Raiders. It's a cool story. The Marcus Allen shit set.
Are you a Boise State fan then? You got Ashton Jeanty up there?
I am.
Nice, man. What a player.
Yep, he's a stud. That dude. I was just looking at some stats. He has outscored more points than several programs in the NCAA in football by himself. So back in the days of Kellen Moore and Zabriskie and the Ian Johnson Statue of Liberty beat Oklahoma State.
Famous play, man.
So very famous. So I kind of started picking up that, and then my wife her uncle has he's been a Oregon Ducks season ticket holder for a long time. So about 3 or 4 years ago, he invited me to a game, and his tickets are at the 15-yard line, and they're about 10 rows up. And I was like, man, this is awesome. And I've always liked Oregon's jerseys and their schemes, and I was like, this is a cool team to cheer for. So as far as college football goes, I've got a couple great teams that I cheer for, and then in the NFL, it's just not very good.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah, right now, Genty is 1,893 yards, 26 touchdowns on the ground this season. That's nuts, man.
I actually watched his last game over the weekend, man. He had that 150 yards and then 3 TDs, I think, on Saturday, right? I mean,
and that's a down game.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, and most of these, too, there's games where he hasn't played in the fourth quarter, hasn't played in a half.
Yeah.
So it's just to still be on this pace is incredible.
And it's so freaking cool how he just stands there like Michael Myers, and the comparisons to him is just so hilarious, dude, because he just stands there.
Gets no stance other than just standing straight up.
Straight up. And then you just know it's coming. They give him the ball over 30 times a game, and then he still just murders people.
Yeah, basically.
And he still averages almost 5 yards a carry against 9 people in the box.
Yeah.
So I think it's 4.3 yards. So against 9 stacked in the box, which is insane. But that's also a testament to scheme and
that O-line.
I was about to say that O-line,
offensive line and everything,
which he puts on a pedestal, and he says most of these accolades are as much for them as they are for him.
That's cool. Nice.
Yeah, and he's a very humble person, which is you love to see.
Yeah.
So at least I do.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see where he goes, because I think it's probably going to be between him, Travis Hunter, and Cam Ward for Heisman if it keeps going the way it is.
Yeah.
And I'll be interested to see if he does win the Heisman, how high a Heisman winning running back goes right now in this league. Because it'd be interesting to see. I'm sure it'll probably go in the top 10, but it's just one of those things. A guy who's on pace to break Barry Sanders' records probably won't even go in the top 5.
Well, then you got Bijan Robinson, who's taken 10th, I think.
Yeah.
So you never know. But I mean, dude's got legs like a tree trunk, man. He reminds me of Saquon Barkley a lot, but just almost breaking more tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of good running backs have come out of Boise State, which is crazy. I mean, Doug Martin came out of Boise State.
Oh,
and
Buccaneers.
You've got Genty, and then you've got Alexander Madison, who's a Raider right now.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
He came out. He's been solid. But I mean, if you look back as far as like even some wide receivers like Khalil Shakir that's in Buffalo, he's a former Bronco, and if you go back to when they beat Oklahoma, there were a couple guys, I'm spacing their names, but they came out of Boise State. So there are good players that come out of Boise State. So it wouldn't surprise me if he goes top 15. My thought is people, though, teams are not spending first-round picks a lot of times unless the dude is just absolutely can't miss. On a running back in the first round is where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting if teams really value him. I've heard as high as like top 10. I've heard 14 to the Cowboys. They need a running back. Honestly, like the Raiders need a running back too. So I have no idea where he's going to go, but I do feel like wherever he does land, he's definitely a solid addition to that team and should bolster their offense pretty well.
Yeah, definitely. And the nice thing about being a running back, it's very easy to make an impact right away. Yeah. So that's the one bonus of that position, although they don't last that long.
Absolutely. Yes, that is true. That is true.
Well, man, we don't want to keep you too much longer. I'm sure you've got stuff to do tonight. We appreciate you hopping on with us. Let us all know where you can be found, I guess, so to speak, where we can catch your thoughts and insights, if you will.
Yeah, so my buddies and I started a podcast. We got tired of talking about the same crap in different toilets every year, so we kind of have defunct on that, but we definitely keep an eye on the league and what's going on in the Raiders organization. But our podcast is called Behind the Eyepatch. Came up. Golly, I can't talk. The name came from my friend Micah. We started that, and we're on Twitter at Behind Eyepatch. Sometimes we check our Facebook page, but not very often. Same name. But yeah, even though we don't do a podcast anymore, we still talk about, what coaches we would like to hire, what GMs we would like to have, and what quarterbacks we'd like to bring in as well. So you can find us mostly on, I guess it's X now. I still call it Twitter.
Yeah, it's Twitter.
Like that. And, okay, I'm good. I'm okay with that if you guys are. But
too late.
Yeah, that's where we're at. So I do have to ask though, are you guys Buffalo fans?
No.
It's funny you ask. Yeah, we do have a big matchup this weekend. The Buffs are playing my Jayhawks.
Oh, you meant the Buffaloes. Yes.
Yeah, the Buffaloes.
Yes. I thought you were like Buffs. I was like, I'm pretty sure Chad doesn't like the Buffs, but
yeah. Kind of like what you were talking about. You kind of have two college teams. My heart belongs to the Jayhawks, obviously. Big Jayhawk basketball fan.
Okay. But
yeah, the football team's really been coming around over the last few years, and so I'm a big fan of theirs. But I live here in Denver. That's how we do this podcast live, and so I'm really interested in what the CU Buffs are doing right now. I mean, obviously they just jump off the screen, so I just enjoy watching them as well.
Yeah, and this is kind of like where this could decide the Big 12 championship this weekend, so to speak. I mean, it could depend on if the CU can make it or not, or what can happen. I mean, it's crazy because KU was the favorite in the beginning of the year, and then things just didn't go the way they thought. So it should be a great game nonetheless.
Yes, and thank you for beating BYU. Although I come from that area of the world, I'm not a BYU fan at all. So I like to see them lose, and so thank you, Kansas. And you'd get along really well with Micah. He's a huge Jayhawks basketball
fan. Oh, cool.
We'll have to get him on sometime.
Might have to do a crossover or something.
There you go. He loves Kansas Jayhawk basketball. I'm a Kentucky fan. I had liked the Wildcats for.
They're rising this year
long time.
With that new coach. They're doing really well. They beat Duke last week.
That I couldn't wait for Cal to get the axe, but I thought that they would go after somebody a little bit more than Mark Pope with a little bit higher recognition, but. Mm-hmm. That did not happen, but they did. I mean, they beat Duke the other day. I can't ever be happier than a win over Duke. I am not a Duke fan at all, and so yeah, great. I mean, anytime you beat Duke, it's a good feeling.
Yeah, that's huge, especially with Cooper Flagg there, man. That kid's going to be a top 5 pick or top 3 probably.
Yeah,
and he kind of lost them the game, and so you hate to see that, but more than that, you love to see that. So,
yeah, that's totally fine, man.
But yeah, so yeah, you guys, I get you in touch with Micah, and you could do a Jayhawks version of your show as well.
There you go.
I would enjoy that, man, for sure. We're gonna get deep into college basketball here soon.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah. Well, hey, good luck against those Broncos this weekend.
Yeah, we got a big
the Broncos.
matchup.
Well, I wish I could say beat the Broncos because I really do. That's like the Chiefs and the Broncos are right there, like 1A and 1B.
Yeah.
I just can't stomach either one of them. So I wish I could say win, but honestly, for the sake of maybe finding a new head coach next year and for draft position,
Very
it's
true.
like, yeah, I'm not gonna be super bummed if they lose. It's going to come down to when Jacksonville plays the Raiders. So I think that's going to be your battle for the most in-depth program.
The battle for worst, yeah.
That's exactly right.
We'll see. Max Crosby always seems to have a great game whenever he plays us, so we'll see how that goes.
Yep. You'll have to see how that goes.
Indeed. Well, man, have a great night. We'll be in touch, and we'll get your co-host on here in the future, and we'll keep it going. And then hopefully we can have you back on here when you guys get a new quarterback or whatever next year.
Awesome. I'd appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. It's been fun. Take care, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Have a great night.
All right, you too. Peace.
Bye.
We did it again.
Same time.
Dude, we just rewatched Deadpool the other day. God, it's good, man.
I want to watch it because now it's streaming.
You haven't watched it yet?
No.
Yeah, you should check it out. It's on Disney+.
No, I thought I was going to watch a lot more stuff when I was sick, but I didn't. We started watching The Penguin, like when we talked about that. We'll get into that here in just a second. But
that
right
was a
now,
great interview.
It was a great interview. Thank you, Tyler, for hopping on. Tyler Larson of Behind the Eyepatch. Follow them for all of the upcomings and goings-ons of the Raiders. But right now, it is time for the music break. And this month, although it is a little shortened, we are featuring Root Beer Richie and the Revier. They're a rad band out of Denver, kind of like, I think they call it like swamp R&B kind of, because he's from Louisiana.
Okay.
So it's like R&B, good rockin', good tunes, good sing-along stuff. The name of this song is Tell Me, and it's coming at you right now.
You made me feel like no one else. Whoa, you made me forget myself. That's why when I heard from a mutual friend that you're back running around with him. So I made a reach for my liquor shelf. Then I came on down to see for myself.
the second half of episode 108. You just heard Root Beer Richie and the Revier. You can catch them, I want to say they're playing sometime soon this year, but I don't remember right off the top of my head. But you can find all their stuff on Root Beer Richie and the Revier at bandcamp.com. You can find all of the stuff about them that's pertinent, whether that be where they're playing next, which I should know, which I don't, and stuff like where to buy merch. And you could go buy their new album, which is out. It is a really good album. Make sure to go. You can check it out on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up tomorrow, man. I like them.
Yeah, they're a really rad band. It's like Chad was saying it while we were sitting here. He's like, this is a lot different than the normal stuff I play on here. But yeah, you know, I like an amalgamation of music, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. The name of the latest album is Never Needed Me. And it's like good jammy fucking R&B rock and roll music. I like it. Yeah, I dig it.
Sweet.
Yep. But it is now time to also talk about our sponsor of the show. That is SDR Collectibles.
Who just started up their eBay shop.
Yes, their eBay shop is live and alive.
It's popping too.
Yeah, it's popping. You can go get all your Funko Pops popping off over there.
Good point.
As well as a whole bunch of, you know, sports collectibles, sports cards, all kinds of things, whatever you collect. They're going to be slanging it.
Yeah, Dan sent off 35 packages on Monday.
Damn, I saw them on Sunday
Yeah, it was Sunday. They were packaging
was it this
up
Sunday? But yeah, they were like packing the week up, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of shit they're sending out. So
they got a huge collection.
Yes, big collection, and make sure to go find whatever collectible you wants to be collecting at SDR. And also, they have a show coming up.
Yep. Oh, this one's pretty close to us.
Just in time for Christmas, Saturday, December 14th. Chad, give them some more rundown about it.
Denver Card Show at Delta Hotel, 10 East 120th Avenue, North Glen, Colorado. We got some stars that's going to be there.
Yes.
Pretty big deal. Old KU alum Christian Braun. I just said it wrong, didn't I?
You did, but I was going to
cannot believe
it's spelled that way, so I'm okay with it.
I haven't done that.
I think it's a lie that
Christian
it's Brown.
Wow, I haven't
Brown.
said it wrong.
I guess you could go Brown.
I apologize, Christian. I correct people on it, so someone needs to correct me. Christian Braun will be there at 1 p.m., and then Andrew Cogliano.
Yes,
at 11 a.m.
Former Avalanche player, won a Stanley Cup with them, and also now in the front office, I believe, helping with scouting and player development or something along those lines. So that's pretty cool.
Purchase tickets at kcsportsdenver.com.
Yes.
Damn, that sounds pretty awesome. If I wasn't working that day, I'd love to go to that.
I might have to stop by. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm not going to be counting stuff, that's for sure.
Shut up. All right. Yes, go check out SDR Collectibles.
Yes.
Yeah, they do have their eBay shop up. I think they have a link for that on their Facebook, and yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. And
Make sure to go follow them on Facebook. Make sure to follow them on Instagram. I think they have they do have an Instagram.
Yep.
And make sure to go and check out the eBay store, because that is where you can find all of the collectibles you need and want. Chad, you've got something else for us. Tell us about it.
It's kind of a little ad. We're going to talk about one of our sponsors that gave us a lot of the capital whenever we first started up, and that is Mark Martin Archery.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah. He called me about a week ago. It was when we were still off. I think it was like not last Saturday, but the Saturday before.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, oh no, this is what he did. He sent me a screenshot on Snapchat, and it was a Venmo transaction, and said, hey, have you heard of this guy?
Was it Derek Wolf on the Venmo?
It was Derek Wolf on the Venmo.
That's
$150 for archery supplies. And I said, yeah, Dad, I know who that is. What?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, he was just in my shop. And I was like, what are you talking about? That's insane. And I didn't even answer him on Snapchat. Called him up, got the story, and came through there with Derek Wolf did, Super Bowl winning champion for the Denver Broncos, avid bow hunter multiple different things.
I think he has like a hunting show on YouTube now.
Oh, does he? Nice.
I believe.
That's cool.
I think that's what he's doing now mainly. But that is super crazy, and it's funny that your dad just had no idea. Like, I'm sorry if I saw a man that giant walk in anywhere, I'd be like, I feel like he does something.
Yeah, and my dad had an idea because he shook his hand, and my dad said it just swallowed up his hand.
Yeah,
and he was just an enormous man. I said, yeah, he's like a Viking, man.
Yeah,
but that's what's so funny. So my dad, if I haven't mentioned before, not really into sports at all, but complete expert, master of all things archery, hunting, mechanics. He's a jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm.
And so he told me he didn't even know it was Derek Wolf until he left. One of his buddies was like, "Do you know who that is?" Like, no, what? That's pretty cool, man. So just Derek Wolf, famous bow hunters, going into my dad's archer shop.
Yeah,
pretty badass.
Small world, if you will.
That just goes to show you. He's got some good quality right there.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm sure Derek Wolf, when next time he's back in that area, will be back to Mark Martin Archery to get any of his bow hunting supplies.
Ain't damn right.
And
he just killed my dad just shot a big buck. Yeah,
that's
I know
cool.
you're friends with. Yeah, it was a pretty good one.
Yeah, nice size buck.
I don't know if you're aware of we're a big numbers guy when it comes to sports and stuff.
Points.
That's kind of a big deal. But what you can do is score the bucks. So if you kill like a Pope and Young buck, that's anything over 145 and over. A Boone and Crockett buck is 165 and over. So what you're doing is like measuring like the thickness of the brow tines, the length, and then you add all that up. His scored 140. It's pretty good. Yep.
That's a pretty big buck there.
Yep.
My brother got a buck this week as well, or last week as well.
Did he?
Yeah, my brother Jeremy went on a hunt and got a buck. I think it was like a 7-point, I think.
You have to
I don't
show
know
me a
much
picture
about
of it,
hunting.
man. Yeah.
But,
Awesome.
I don't know the specifics and all the lingo and stuff.
Well, I'm looking forward to eating it when I go back for Christmas.
I'm hoping my brother gives me some. I'm going to smoke some venison.
Ooh, there you go, man.
No, man.
Put
It's
it on
delicious.
the
Traeger. Get it on the Traeger.
The Traeger. All over the place.
But yeah, so let's talk about our weekends a little bit.
Let's get into it.
Or just our week, I guess. It's been a little while. How was yours?
Well, it was good.
That's fantastic.
I know. I'm trying to, it's just...
It's been a while.
We were seeing each other every day there for a while at work, and then I didn't see you for 2 weeks, so I was like, man, need some Christopher in my life.
Yeah, sometimes. Every once in a while, I can be needed. More often than not, I'm a nuisance. Or
every
a pest.
now and then. Last weekend was pretty good. We just relaxed on Friday night. We watched that shitty fight, but that was just a very short amount of time. We watched a pretty cool movie, The Wild Robot. Really good animated movie.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, it was made on DreamWorks. She was bawling afterwards, so she cannot watch kids' movies.
Those DreamWorks movies always are tearjerkers for the ladies.
I saw a poster for the new How to Train Your Dragon live action one. That's like my favorite kids' movies. Is the How to Train Your Dragon ones.
I don't think I've ever actually watched that all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces.
Oh, man, they're so good. They made 3 of them. Gerard Butler's like the dad.
Yeah,
they're good movies. Then we finished. We had started this a couple weeks before, but we just kind of like finished my thought on Miss Martha Stewart earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow, man. I had no idea what we were talking about with Vince McMahon. If you're going to be that psycho to just strive to be excellent and perfect at everything you do.
Yeah.
She is the embodiment of that. I mean, I could not believe it.
She's a billionaire.
A whole new respect for it. Because, I mean, they of course cover the insider trading, which is bullshit because it's what Nancy Pelosi and different Congress people
Everybody does it.
every
That's
day.
Rich,
Yeah, well, not just if you're in Congress and you're in the government, it's allowed.
Yeah.
But if you're an everyday citizen, you get arrested like Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
So, but they cover that, and then they cover how she bounced back from that, like with the Justin Bieber roast. I mean, and then, dude, there's the simple fact that she's a goddamn silver fox.
Yeah, there is something oddly attractive about her. I don't know if it's like the way she speaks. It's kind of like
the confidence thing.
I feel like it'd be
pretty.
like a weird role playing thing, where you'd like want her to like scold you, put you in your place or something.
Maybe
I don't know.
so. If you're into that kind of thing,
who knows?
Yeah, she'd be like, "It's a good thing."
It's a good thing.
But
I don't know if it is, Martha.
It's awesome. Check it out.
I don't know if it
man.
is.
Yep.
That's cool though.
What about you?
Let's see. I got COVID, so that was cool.
That sucks.
So I was still able to do work stuff and like go look at jobs and whatnot. So that was cool. I wasn't like completely stuck at home.
Good.
We started watching The Penguin. You said you finished it.
It's amazing. How far are you guys into it?
I think we're on 6 right now, so we got a little ways to go.
Episode 4
was great. Yeah.
It's some of the best. It's television history is what it is.
Yeah, it's wild watching it, and you're just like, I can't believe this is Colin Farrell. Like all the whole time, I'm like, I can't believe it's Colin Farrell. I'm watching right now.
I know. And what's wild is like, that's what everybody kind of was expecting, and then Sophia, I think is her character's name, right?
Yeah.
I can't remember her actress's name, but the lady that plays Sophia, she was just on Fallon last night. She stole the show.
Yeah,
she's gonna win an Emmy for that show. She should.
Like I said, they should get like honorary Oscars or something. I don't even just say, hey, I know it's a TV show.
Yeah,
but it was good.
To the Oscars anyway. Nickelodeon Awards, whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but excellent show.
Yeah, it is really good. Looking forward to finishing that one.
Cool.
I did start watching Detroiters. I don't know if you've
never heard of that one.
Okay, it's got that guy in it.
Oh, I remember seeing the promo for it.
Yeah, I'll show you guys.
He did
Detroiters.
the show I Think You Should Leave, right?
Yeah, I Think You Should Leave.
Yep.
It's pretty funny. I've been watching that
Cool.
quite a bit. We also have been watching Mind of a Psychopath or something like that.
Okay.
We've been watching a bunch of that. I've talked about it before.
Me about that one. Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like one of those shows we just put on, and I'm usually doing something else, just
Right.
listening to someone talk about how they killed somebody and they don't really care about killing people. And
I worry about you sometimes, man.
It's a crazy way to live life.
Yep.
But just makes me realize it doesn't take much to push somebody.
Well, all right. I'm a little nervous now. I'm a little nervous.
But yeah, then my brother asked me if I wanted to go to the Broncos game where, speaking of Derek Wolfe, he was there.
Oh, was he?
The no-fly zone was there this weekend, and then Derek Wolfe was there.
That's cool.
And again, next to all those guys,
he's giant, man.
like a foot taller than everybody on that secondary, and it's just like, holy shit, dude.
He's so big, man. Yeah. Very interesting guy.
But other than that, just now back to working and stuff. You've got good news at work, kind of.
Yeah, I don't need to talk about it here.
Okay,
It's good.
fair enough. Yeah.
Good
Moving on up. Everybody's moving up. That's good. But we're moving right along, and I think that's about it. I don't know what else really I have to talk about. I'm trying to think. I didn't do much. I had COVID, so.
Well, I do know one thing
that
we got to talk about for this upcoming week. Chris and I are going head to head.
Oh, yeah, in the Fringe Fanatics League, where let's, not to toot my own horn, got my second win. Two and 9. So
Damn.
still in dead last, but had to take Josh down a peg or two this weekend.
Good. He needed it.
But I'm still probably going to be eating the hot gummy bear. But do have chance now to play upsetter. And that's what I'm hoping to do. Hoping to take you down a peg or two.
Well, we shall see, man.
Yeah, my team is so horrible.
I've already got one blemish. I don't need 2.
I'm like every week projected to like score 90 some points. And I'm just like,
so
hell yeah, dude.
You've got Jonathan Brooks coming this week.
Oh, yeah.
Going
I
up
might have
against
dropped
the
him
Chiefs.
already. I don't know. I'll have to look.
I don't know. I will say, I don't want to toot my own horn, but this is a year I think I might. And I'll probably jinx myself by doing it.
I hope you do.
Anytime. It's always the way it goes. The best regular season team always loses first round.
Yeah, they get knocked out by the 6th or 8th seed, however many you got in there.
I just cannot believe I'm 10-1 in both of my leagues.
That is pretty wild.
For the same record and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's pretty impressive. I'm happy for you. I'm making it back in the Smalley League. I started out terrible in that league,
You are.
too.
You're at the 5th seed right now.
Yeah.
You are close.
Steph beat me by 2 points this week, all because Taylor Craft,
Tucker,
Tucker Craft.
He got 0, right?
He had one pass thrown at him, and he did not catch it. Had he caught that one pass, I would have won, dude.
Yeah.
That's what sucks.
Dude, doesn't that feel like
damn
salt?
it?
Just feels
and
like.
then, my curse continues in the Fringe Fanatics League as Harrison Butker had to go on IR.
Oh man, yeah, that was awful.
I'm just like, dude, come on, man. Both my quarterbacks backs, my kicker I traded for.
I told you not to take any Chiefs players.
I'm picking them all up now. Pretty soon it's just going to be like all the second teamers.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it is what it is, you know. You can't win them all the time. You can't be, floating around the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
You got to take an ass kicking every once in a while.
It happens, man. That was me last year. But maybe 2 years ago, I guess. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
But so
it's gonna be fun watching you eat the gummy bear. I will say,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here for moral support and to have my phone ready for 911.
What we'll probably do is we'll run the episode like normal, and then like the last 15-20 minutes will probably just be me eating it. And
yeah, we definitely have to do it live. That's for sure. Yeah.
It will be live.
Yeah.
But so we got big stuff this weekend. We're going against each other. F1 is back. A bunch of sports are happening. Sports are everywhere.
Good weekend for college football.
Let's get into some headlines.
Let's go sports ball.
Sports ball.
Get your headlines here. What in the wide world of sports?
No.
Sports is going on here.
NFL
I hit the wrong button there on accident. Son of a bitch.
It's all good.
I'm still rusty. My thumb doesn't know where to go yet. It'll get back to it. I got to work it out. All right, here we go. Let's get into the NFL.
Alrighty.
Are you ready for some football?
Yeah.
Check the Nuggets. Football, bro.
Oh, yeah, they're going.
Yeah.
Looks like the Cavs might suffer their first loss of the season.
Damn, the Nuggets are by 7. Look at that.
All right.
MPJ's having a good game.
Way to go, MPJ.
All right. Week 11.
Week 11 is
in the books.
In the books.
Things are changing. Danny Dimes demoted.
He's gone, man. He's the third stringer. They skipped Drew Lock and went to Danny DeVito.
Yep. I guess
Tommy DeVito.
Yeah. Drew Lock's been looking that bad.
No, it's actually because if he plays a significant amount of time, they owe him $3 million. And they don't want to pay him any money because they don't want to be hooked to anybody because they're already paying Danny Dimes $40 million to sit on the bench.
Well, they are escaping because of the injury, and since they're benching him now, it's the same thing as the deal with Derek Carr last year.
Hurt?
Apparently.
Oh.
It's the same situation as Derek Carr.
I didn't hear that.
last
I thought they
year.
just benched him.
No,
but yeah, they're like, we're not going to play you. It's like what they tried to do to Russell, but he was like, no. And then they're like, well, we're just going to bench you.
It's the exact same as Derek Carr, where they're avoiding all the guaranteed money next year, and they're kind of scapegoating it from it. So, Tommy Cutlets comes in.
Tommy Cutlets is back.
Yep.
I wish his agent was still around. That guy was really cool, but
they did fire him.
He's gone.
Let's stay in New York.
Yeah, let's stay in New York. The Jets fired Joe Douglas, the GM. He's the next in the long line of the blame train as to why the Jets are terrible as they lose to the Colts.
Yeah. And
28-27.
Yep.
Anthony Richardson looked like he was back, though.
Yeah, Anthony Richardson had a good game, and I saw a tweet today from Shefty that said Woody Johnson, there are rumors that he will not, 100% sure he's not going to be bringing back Aaron Rodgers next year.
He's not going to?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah. Well, and I already heard that Aaron Rodgers said he wants to play next year, so now it's like, where is he going to go?
Yeah.
And who's going to want to deal with that? Look at what he did to the Jets, dude. He
That's
basically imploded the Jets.
I think you got, if he has any ounce of integrity, he's got to just realize, okay, I screwed this team over, which might have been a conspiracy job because of the whole Johnson thing.
Oh, man, that's what he did.
Yep. And then he should just hang it up.
What a sneak.
Because, man, we just got to put to rest all of the comparisons that it was in the past with Brady and Rodgers, Manning and Rodgers, and him being one of the three. That is gone.
Well, I mean, he still has an incredible career, and he did put up some pretty wild numbers. But yeah, the legacy is tarnished.
Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Mahomes
Super Bowl,
already has a better Super
MVP,
career.
but he did do some good things. But I get what you're saying. His career is tarnished now because he looks like a villain and he looks like an asshole.
Yep.
And then he put all this, pressure on the Jets to get him what he wanted so that they could compete, and he goes out and puts up 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, what are you going to do?
He is washed up.
It's looking like it. And I guess it goes to show that you tear your Achilles at 39 years old, it's really hard to come back from, because he doesn't look right. He doesn't look good. It's got to be up there with like one of the worst acquisitions of a free agent. As a trade, actually. That's right. It was a trade.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's up there with one of the worst trades now. So
it's bad.
We'll have to see how that all plays out. But I am definitely interested to see how the rest of this year goes, because the Colts basically put themselves back in to playoff talks, and the Jets basically effectively put themselves out as they are now 3-8. So very interesting stuff going on over there in the Big Apple.
All right, let's move to Cincinnati, where the Bengals have no defense.
No defense. Joe Burrow, I forget the stat, but I think he's like the only quarterback to have the stats that he has and to have a losing record.
Yeah, they're 4-7. He has 3,129 yards, 27 TDs, and 4 interceptions. If their record was flipped, even at 7-4, he would be probably second in MVP talks.
Yeah, easily.
But no, they just keep losing at the end of these games, man.
They keep finding ways to lose, and the Chargers keep finding ways to win, and the Jim Harbaugh effect is in full effect in Los Angeles.
It worries the hell out of me, man. That team is good. They're
sneaky, and they're like the Chiefs. They keep finding ways to win games. Obviously, that didn't happen this week, but, I mean, it's still, it's a scary thing for a team like this that could easily sneak up on you in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
They're giving up 13 points a game. Here's actually, I can't believe, I am glad you brought that up. I just now remembered the stat I saw earlier today. They're giving up 13.3 points a game. That's best in the league. That's also best in the league since 2011. Guess which team that was? Jim Harbaugh's Niners.
Oh, yeah, the Niners.
That is insane.
Dude, hey, he knows how to build it in the trenches, man. And you got to look at it and think, I don't know why more people don't just follow that and just build from the inside out, if you will.
You got to get in the trenches.
Yeah, you got to win in the trenches. You win in the trenches, you win on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
But, it's definitely going to be a long end of the season here for the Bengals, as they pretty much effectively have to win out to get a wild card even. So,
and it's gonna be tough. They've got some really tough games.
I'm trying to think of
they've got the Steelers. Not this week, but
yes. No, Steelers this week.
No, the Steelers are playing
they got the
Browns
bye week. Bye week
Thursday.
This week.
Yep.
So the Bengals better lick their wounds because Steelers, Cowboys, Titans, Browns, Broncos, Steelers again.
Yep. The Broncos, damn.
Yeah,
hopefully
and then
they give you guys a loss.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I know. The AFC West is getting good.
They are, man. It's aside from the Raiders.
Sorry, Tyler.
Yeah, but speaking of the Steelers, man, in Russ we trust, dude. I said it 2 weeks ago. In Russ we trust, man. He still will do some of the dumbest things you've ever seen on the football field. There was that one interception he had where he just scrambled around in the pocket and then just launched it up in the air, and it's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because Chris Boswell.
Have you seen how many fantasy points he has, more than other players?
No.
Dude,
is it
crazy?
I
saved it.
I tried to pick him up. I think somebody grabbed him from underneath me on the waiver
the best
wire.
kicker in the league, dude.
He was on the waiver wire 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Travis Kelce, A.J. Brown. The list goes on, dude.
He kicked 5 fucking field goals this weekend.
24 points, dude. I almost lost because I think Alex had him.
And then on the other side, his counterpart, Justin Tucker, I don't know what's going on, but he's got
Did
the
you
yips.
see his excuse?
What'd he say?
This was pathetic. He said afterwards, I wasn't happy. The playing service is what caused it. The same playing service that Chris Boswell kicked
That's what I'm saying.
Goals?
You can't say that when you got beat by only field goals to be like, nah, man, it's the playing surface. Put on different cleats. I don't know. Try something else. I don't know.
It doesn't make sense.
I think now I saw he's no longer the most accurate kicker in the NFL.
You know who is?
It's
Eddie Pinheiro.
Eddie Pinheiro, yeah.
Yep.
But, if you look at Eddie Piñeiro's attempts to Justin Tucker's. Like, Justin Tucker's got like 470 some, and then Eddie Piñeiro's like 100 and some.
150.
Yeah, so it's like still like I mean, the fact that Justin Tucker's kicked that many field goals, but it does.
He kicked
suck.
6 field goals. He kicked 6 field goals that day. Not Boswell did.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right.
Because I was playing against Alex.
Math. I can math. But yeah, I mean, it's the shitty thing about when you're this entrenched with a kicker who's been really good. It's really hard to cut the cord.
Yep.
It's really hard to say we gotta sit you down.
Younghoe Koo. Yep. Younghoe Koo's in a big slump in Atlanta, and when Tucker last year, I think it was, started to slip and miss some, it was Younghoe Koo who usurped him and took that like all time.
Yeah,
it's the same way. He didn't have near as many attempts, but it's just math.
It's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, that's a cool thing to say, but then when you look at how many, you're just like, wow.
That's why I was so pissed about
a lot of field goals.
Bucker missing time, because Bucker could really take it, because Bucker's just like a decimal point right behind him.
Yeah,
but then he's missing 4 games, so it just sucks.
Goes that.
Yeah,
but yeah, the Steelers now are in control of the AFC North at 8-2.
There's a good chance they're going to win that division.
I don't know how they're not going to at this point.
I saw percentage-wise that if they had won that game, I think it was like a 64% chance they're going to win the division. And then if they lost, it was going to drop down to like 26.
And John Harbaugh needs to start calling Mike Tomlin daddy, because he can't beat Mike Tomlin at all.
Or Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar. And I heard a stat today that against like winning teams, Lamar, he's got like some terrible stats.
Oh, he's 1-4 against the Steelers, man. Mike Tomlin, dude, he's a genius, because the Ravens had a chance to take that lead, or I think it was tie it up or something like that, and he saw what they were going to do, and he called a timeout because they were going to run that Derrick Henry jump pass.
Yep.
And then he called a timeout, saw a 2-point attempt. They ran a different defense and then stopped him.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, he could be up for. Oh, they're coming back. Cleveland's coming back.
I've got it right here. They just brought it to 2. It's 84-86 now.
Oh, damn.
That one's a little bit behind. We're watching the Cleveland and Boston game, where Cleveland is 15-0. We'll get to that a little bit later.
Yep, they're trying to catch the 2015-2016 Golden State Warriors, who made it to 24-0. That was the year they won, 73? So that was an incredible season for them. But let's keep moving on along.
I love this story here.
Let me get to it. The sky is literally falling, both figuratively and literally, in Dallas, as 2 large sheet metal pieces fell from the sky before the Monday night game.
Luckily, nobody got hurt.
Yeah, honestly, if somebody was down there, they probably could have gotten severely injured, if not killed. It's a really far ways down.
Oh, yeah, that could have been bad.
Yeah, Jerry wanted to open the roof and close the blinds, I think, or close the
curtains.
Yeah, the curtains, which I don't know why he doesn't close the curtains all the time, because CeeDee Lamb can't see balls coming at him, and it's what a great stadium.
It's wild. Spent all that money, $1 billion stadium, billions of dollars. And you can't even close the curtains.
No, but they attempt to open the roof. Some
For
stuff
the first
falls.
time in 2 years. Too.
Yeah, and then I think the last time they did open it, or no, I think the last time they had it open with the curtains drawn, they won like 40-20, and I forget who it was against. But it didn't. Clearly, it was an omen for how the week was going to go, as. They lose in dramatic fashion, 34-10. Joe Mixon has 3 touchdowns. The Cowboys have a fumble where like 2 guys fumbled it. I think 5 people touched the ball as it was rolling around. But yeah, the Cowboys are looking rough. Honestly, it started out and I was like, Cooper Rush looks like he's running this offense better than Dak, and they're looking decent, and then it just all fell apart.
Yep. One of my favorite memes that I saw over the weekend was a platter of, like a tray of Five Guys food, like a few different combo meals, and it said, this costs more than what the Cowboys spent in offseason.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, Five Guys is expensive, but still more than what the Cowboys spent.
That's true. And right now, they are the only American pro team that is in all sports without a home win in 2024. So, way to go, jury.
Well, that wraps up the NFL, except for
the Daily Dog.
That's right. We got a couple good ones.
Yes, we do. I had to go homerism on mine. I had to do it.
He deserves it.
You want me to do it?
Probably
okay.
took the lead for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
It does seem that way, which is pretty surprising, honestly, with the way Jaden Daniels was going. But he has kind of come back down to earth a little bit. But Bo Nix is my daily dog this week, as he has done something that no quarterback or rookie quarterback has ever done in the NFL. And when something happens that's never been done, you got to talk about it at least. You know what I'm saying? So he is the only rookie quarterback to have, what is it here? Hold on. First rookie to have a game with 80% completion percentage, 300-plus yards, and 4 touchdowns. He also threw for 0 picks. And I think his quarterback rating was 145. So he looked really good. There was things that I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be in Canton anytime soon.
You say you're taking the Sean Payton stance. His comments were pretty funny.
Well, because I think he's starting to realize that he was right, and I think he doesn't want to come off as too much of a dick for once, which is surprising to me, because I would, if I was him, I'd be like, I told you guys. But
I think what he's trying to do, because I've heard this as well. I listen to a lot of Greg Rosenthal, and Greg Rosenthal was a big part of like New Orleans and everything, and he talks about Sean Payton a lot and the history he knows behind him, and what they attribute to his personality is his ability to control the media. He's very smart with how he controls the media.
He's manipulative. They were talking about that on the radio today. One of the guys, I think it was Vic Lombardi, was like, there's one thing you can say about Sean Payton. He will manipulate the media how he wants.
And that's what I think he's doing, is like he's trying to make sure the media doesn't get too inflated for Bo, which might get into his head,
Set
which
him up
I
for
don't
failure
think that's going to happen.
Yeah, who knows?
But, and just mainly just the craze. Like, let's just bring it down. And what he did as well is he said, hey, let's give some credit to the players.
The defense, too. He's like, we're not going to talk about the defense?
Yeah. Defense is ridiculous.
Yeah, the defense is looking really good. I hope they pay Vance Joseph a lot of money so that he doesn't go and fail at being a head coach again. But yeah, it was a great thing to watch, and there's just stuff that I wanted to see that I saw. There was I think it was a 3rd down pass to Devon Vele that went for like 33 yards, and he fitted in right over the zone, right over the linebacker, in between the safety and the cornerback, right to Devon Vele. And I was like, okay, that's like a legit quarterback. That's an NFL QB pass right there. So it was good to see, and that is why Bo Nix is my daily dog this week.
Well done. That's a good one.
I had to do the homerism
Dude,
on it. But
this is the first time I can say in about 7 years, maybe a little bit longer, that your quarterback, the Denver quarterback, is playing better than Patrick Mahomes. I could say 7
but still,
because of, it's the first time because, this year, he's having a better year. This last week, Patrick played horrible.
Yeah.
And so, I envy the way your quarterback's playing, man.
Yeah, he's playing decent. He still needs to get a little more completions further down the field because a lot of them are still right around the line of scrimmage. But, hey, Tom Brady won some Super Bowls dinking and dunking.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, with the way the NFL is this year, everybody's playing that, too high safety shell, and, stuff downfield has been significantly decreased. Scoring is down as well on average.
Lions.
Yeah, unless you're the Lions and you can throw it 11 times to Amon-Ra St. Brown and he'll catch it 11 times for like 100 and some yards, 170 some. But yeah, it's kind of a sign of the time, and if it works, it works. So hey, I'll take a win over a loss any day.
That's
so
what it's all about, just winning football games.
Let's get to yours.
All right, let's get to it. Hit it.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I need to hear. Daily. This daily dog is the Swiss Army I can't even. God damn it!
It's okay. You came in hot. I liked it.
Army knife of New Orleans. It is Taysom Hill. This dude does it all, man. It is insane. By the way, thank you, Alex, Chris's nephew, for not starting him in our fantasy league.
It's like I told Chad, though. I was like, why would you? But hey, he had a hell of a game.
Yep.
And if you were smart and you put him in, you're looking pretty good, as he probably won you your fantasy this week.
42 points he put up in fantasy. This guy, I mean, he's the only guy in football that does this. Nobody else does this. He really is a unicorn where, here's his stat lines. 1 pass, well, he attempted 2, but he completed 1 pass for 18 yards, had 7 carries for 138 yards and 3 TDs. He had 7 carries, and out of those 7 carries, he scored 3 TDs.
Why not?
One of them went for like 70-some yards. Then he caught 8 balls for 50 yards. It's ridiculous. They're really, like, I think that new coach, Drizzy, which is like, sounds like a rap name.
Yeah, what was it, Drizzy?
I think it's like Drizzy, dude.
Oh, yeah, he's the special teams coordinator now, interim, which apparently that's what you do. You fire your coach, the special teams coach is now the coach of the team. I don't know why.
That works.
It happens a lot, though.
Sometimes they're important.
Rick Bisaccia with the Raiders a couple years ago.
Yep, yeah. But, I mean, I think what he did is take a long look at the Saints past 4 or 5 years and said, hey, it works when we get Taysom Hill the ball. Let's keep giving him the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, he took over the game. I mean, it's just insane to see someone that can pass, catch, run. And then Drizzy in the post-game conference mentioned, he's like, he's not just doing all of that. He's in there on a punt as well, being responsible for like protecting him. So, I love watching Taysom Hill. This guy seriously does it all, and he runs guys over, throws it, catches it. You don't see anything like it. And the Saints end up beating the Browns because of him.
Yeah, and Browns are pretty much done as well now.
Even though dude, if I could sit down and have a beer with anybody in the NFL,
Jameis Winston.
I think Jameis Winston might be one of them, dude.
I was watching
his pre-game speech.
I didn't hear it, but I was just watching it, and I was like, whatever he's saying right now is nonsense. But I bet it's getting people fired up.
It was amazing, dude. He is so inspirational. I think he should just quit football and just give speeches.
Yeah. He probably will, and he'll probably make a lot of money doing it.
I'll listen to him. That's for sure.
But we need to move on. We are behind, but it's fine. It's been a while.
Yep.
Let's get into the NCAA football.
Let's do it.
Check.
390.
Red 18. Needle dick.
And they're coming back. Still down 5. 9:14 left, though. All right. BYU, the unbeaten in the Big 12. What is it now? Is it the Big 10 or 12 now? 12?
Big 12.
Big 12?
Yeah.
Is there 12 teams in it still?
I think there's like 14 or 16.
I like that.
I know, it's weird. I'm like, why do you call it Big 12?
Just call it the Big Conference. I don't know. Either way, BYU, number 6 in the top 25 rankings, takes a beating from Chad's Kansas Jayhawks.
There we go.
16-13 at home.
Yep.
That's a big bummer there for them.
Very big win for KU.
It basically puts CU right there in cahoots to be in the Big 12 championship.
It sure did, yep. And that's who they take on this weekend in Arrowhead Stadium.
Which is cool.
Rent money on the line.
Yeah, which is surprising to me that they let them play at Arrowhead on a Saturday and then get it all tore up for Sunday.
No, actually, I started following. This is kind of weird. I started following the head groundskeeper for
that makes
Arrowhead.
Sense. You got to have the insides.
And I thought about hitting him up to get an interview. He doesn't have an option to message him on Twitter, but I'm going to see what I can do because we value our yards.
Yeah.
We like having a nice yard.
Yeah.
So that is the Wizard of Oz of groundskeeping is doing something like that. And so I've seen on his Twitter to where like at 2 a.m. they're working at like repairing the grass for the next day. Unbelievable what they do. And I just think they're like the unsung heroes of the sports world.
Yeah, I mean the groundskeepers for sure.
Yeah.
Or like any of these people in arenas that have to tear the floor down and get the ice ready,
Exactly.
or sometimes in back-to-back days, sometimes day out. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's the everyday citizen,
Yeah.
It's the blue-collar workers that are doing this, and I think it's badass, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Yep, but yes, CU and KU, if CU wins, then I will be singing the fight song and paying my landlord an extra $100 on rent.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was happening.
Yep, so that's why I said rent money, and if KU wins, then I don't have to sing a fight song, and I get to pay $100 less. So
Nice.
That'll be great.
Yeah, fingers crossed on that one.
I could use that. All right.
Yeah, we could all use that. A
Yep.
little less on the rent.
All right.
Well, do you want to go to the next one?
Yeah.
Or talk about whatever.
Georgia had a good win in Tennessee. That was a big win. Yep.
Big wing.
Yep,
Yeah.
31-17. Georgia needed that. They were right on the cusp of falling out of the playoff. So that's big. Tennessee, I think that's their first loss of the season, I think.
No, they're 8-2, but I don't know.
Okay.
There might be one out of conference, which is always confusing too, because you've got to take in conference, and then you play games that don't really matter.
Yeah.
So
but,
it's like CU lost to Nebraska, but that doesn't count in the conference.
Yeah.
But it's still your 8-2. So I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, that was a big upset there. Arizona State beats Kansas State, number 16, 24-14 at home. That could possibly be. It could be Arizona State, Kansas State, or CU all right there for the Big 12 championship. So.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff
I'm
there.
tired of betting on K-State. That's like 3 weeks in a row. They've ruined my parlay, man. Like, they just keep getting upset.
No.
I hate the Wildcats. As being a Jayhawk fan, I should never do that. So, what was I thinking?
I don't know. What was I thinking?
Well, let's get to the NBA.
The NBA.
Right side to Scott. Slam dunk. 4 seconds. 3 seconds left. Why they not fouling? Jumper Murray. Denver bounce.
Pump fake for two. Kobe set the Laker record. 81-point game. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the second greatest scoring performance in NBA history.
T. Come on. I'm burning.
I'm burning.
My lungs are burning.
Yes, it is time for the NBA. We have NBA Cup live action happening now.
Group play. Everybody cares about it.
Yes, East Group C, as we've been talking about all show. Cleveland down at 94-98 in Boston on their crazy green floor. Nuggets up 38-29 on the Grizzlies. Surprising.
I don't think Ja Morant's playing tonight. I think that's a big part of it. Let me check on that.
Jokic is out for his third straight game. But, Chad, do you want to talk about that? Are you going to look on that? I can talk about the...
I just want to see if Ja Morant is not playing. That's a big reason
okay,
why.
so
Scottie Pippen Jr. is, though.
Scottie Pippen Jr., who, he's with someone's mom. Or somebody's with his mom.
That's what it is. Yeah, I think it's...
Yeah, which is crazy.
I can't remember all the drama. It's a wild one.
That's wild.
Yep. Dan, the Cavaliers brought it to 2, 97-99. This is going to be a good game.
In other NBA group play, the Hornets are up on the Nets, 59-57. Pelicans are losing to the Mavericks, 19-30. Yeah. Later tonight, Jazz, Lakers, Thunder, Spurs. But Chad, why don't you give the people the most insane stat I think I've ever seen. In regards to Jokic and the Nuggets without Jokic.
This is embarrassing. I saw this today, and I had to talk about it tonight because I think it's a direct shot at Jamal Murray. That's who I feel.
The whole team, really, but Jamal especially.
He should be the leader. He is one of the most tenured players there, and I think it should be on his shoulders when Jamal and Jokic isn't there to try to lead this team because, as we see tonight, Peyton Watson's having a great game. I mean, that's how you judge how good a player is if he makes the other guys around him better. And I don't know why Jamal's not letting it happen or not making it happen, but it's really frustrating. Here is the stat. With Nikola Jokic, this is his third game that he's missed due to personal reasons.
We think he had a kid.
Yeah. With Nikola Jokic off the floor, the Nuggets' offensive rating is 86.3. That is the worst in NBA history. Not this season, history. With Jokic on the floor, their offensive rating is 125.8, the best in NBA history.
What does that tell you right there? If anything, it's should be just a lock for Jokic to get MVP again this year.
That's for
but
sure.
it might be a stat as Jokic might be the most valuable player of all time.
Yeah.
Because that alone, to have it be that disparaging between the two, it's like one thing to have a little bit of a fall off, but literally to go from never been done to never been done is not
It's that. It's also
insane.
that. It's kind of it's a good stat, and it's also a really bad one because it's also a testament to Calvin Booth and how you did not get us a good backup 5. Because if you look at what Zeke Najee's doing there when they need the backup 5, because with Gordon out, it's killing us because when Jokic is on the bench, Gordon can kind of play that backup 5 and fill the roles for a short amount of time. But with Gordon out with his calf strain, which is killing him, Zeke Naji is not the answer. And they didn't make any moves in the offseason to try to fill that role. They didn't draft anybody. They did.
They did. His Achilles blew up.
Yep.
There's
true.
not much you can do there. But yeah, it's. I think there's also, if anything, this needed to happen as a wake-up call to the rest of the team and just to realize, like, you guys need to be better, for one. And it's also kind of, I guess, a knock on Malone to some degree because the fact that this team does not know how to play without Jokic is not a good thing.
They're not fun to watch.
Imagine
either,
if he misses a month, dude, or 2
God.
months.
Dude,
you're done.
Don't even speak it into existence. I've thought about that before too because you see those injuries and it's been talked about.
People roll their
year.
ankles all the time. You know what I mean? Especially in basketball, you step on someone's shoe.
Well, it's been talked
2
about
months.
this year. His longevity, how this, and he's not even hurt right now. It's personal reasons, and he should be with his family right now. But he never. I mean, look at what's going on with Embiid right now. I mean, the Sixers are tied for the worst record in the NBA.
Yeah, and there's problems there as well.
Oh, Maxey! Did you hear about Maxey? And Embiid?
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I guess Kyle Lowry, after their loss, called a team meeting. And in the team meeting, Maxey basically called out Embiid and said, "We're tired of you being late for literally every team, anything team related. You're late." He's like, it sets a bad precedence for the team, for the coaches, for the organization. And then Embiid comes out and says, like, well, I don't really understand what we're trying to do on the court. And it's like, maybe if you showed up to the meetings
or played
or
some
played
games.
back-to-backs or, whatever it is, dude. I've never seen a guy want to play less than Embiid. And then want the accolades.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. He wants it all, but then he's like, but I'm only going to play 2/3 of the season, okay?
He's a horrible example for an NBA player and a horrible role model for youth.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yep.
But, yeah.
That's enough on Embiid. Let's, I think we should move on. What do you think?
Let's talk about Inside the NBA, and then we'll move on.
I just scrolled past that. You're right.
Yeah.
This is huge. Everybody's favorite, TNT's Inside the NBA. They got traded.
Who knew that could happen? But
didn't even know that was
sports
possible.
analysts have been traded from one company to another. Yep. It was weird when it started happening with coaches in the NFL. I was like, all right, we're trading people. Well, outside of the players, but yeah, whatever.
So ESPN receives Inside the NBA. This is starting next year. And then TNT receives 13 Big 12 football games and then 15 Big 12 basketball games. So
That's the trade-off, I guess.
Yep.
They're like, we'll give you some college games.
Here's some humans.
You give us the best sports show on TV, and we'll call it good.
It's pretty wild.
I'm sure everybody on Inside the NBA is going to – that's probably why ESPN was laying everybody off, because they got to pay these guys.
Yeah, could be.
Because they're going to be getting probably more than Stephen A., and each one of them is probably going to be making more than Stephen A.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be making a lot of money because they're great. They've won Emmys because they're so great.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
All right, let's move on. We're just going to hit the F1 real quick.
Yep.
We got a late one this weekend. 11 p.m. start time here anyways. That's Mountain Standard Time.
Wild that here we're catering to the fans over across seas,
Yeah, for once.
It feels like now I know how the fans feel with UFC, how we always cater when they make
I don't know why I'm here at 4 a.m. watching UFC. Like, oh yeah, America, bastards.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Las Vegas Grand Prix is this weekend. I believe it's starting on Wednesday since they're racing Saturday night, so I think it's like practices and then, qualifying and all that stuff. Sprint races on Friday. And then the actual race is going to be at 11 p.m. on Saturday. One of the cooler races, if you can stay up for it. It is late. But it is on the Las Vegas Strip. They're ripping around the Strip, going crazy.
It should be pretty good.
And lights and jackpots and
the sphere will be right there lit up.
The sphere will probably have cool stuff on it. Oh, that will be kind of cool. They'll probably have a bunch of
there's been a bunch of good images of it. Like they had SpongeBob and Patrick out there kind of like looking at the track. I mean, they've had a bunch of, then they turned it into a tire to where it looked like it was moving.
Spinning?
It was cool as shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's hope the track is in better condition because Max Verstappen for the last 4 years has ripped this track. He has
he
no
doesn't like
respect for it.
I mean, it's hard when you turn city streets into a race course all of a sudden. It's
just
like,
out of the blue.
We don't keep our streets in that good a condition, let alone to have cars going 200 miles per hour on it. So
pretty wild.
But yes, let's move on. That is this weekend. It is time for the UFC.
Touch on it
real quick.
Yep, we had UFC 309 last weekend, and Jon Jones cemented himself once again as the GOAT. Knocked out with a body kick.
Miocic.
Yeah, it was brutal. Did you see the injury damage that he got from it?
Oh, no, but, I mean, he was just dismantling him all the way up until that, but then that spinning back kick to the body just stopped him.
Fractured a rib and then lacerated a kidney and his spleen.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. Dude, Jon Jones,
crazy.
I think, might be the most violent fighter I've ever seen.
But weren't they saying Ngannou has, like, the strongest punch power? They did it
until Pereira.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He beat it. Yeah.
Did you ever see when Jon Jones, early in his career, choked out Lyoto Machida?
No.
I think that's why, Jon Jones, I think this is why he's so good, is because he really has that gladiator spirit in there to where, like, he's in there not just to win, but to hurt you. And we saw that with
when he gets in there.
Yeah, not very often. But so a long time ago, he was going up against Lyoto Machida, who had a great career before this, chokes out Lyoto while standing up. And instead of just like setting him down,
he just dropped him
like a Mortal Kombat
he just
fighter,
slumped down.
It's one of the most epic fights ever. Just because of the way he just gives zero fucks, man. Jon Jones, he is the best. Very controversial figure, obviously, but there's no denying he is the best fighter.
Yeah, that's why I said when he fights.
Yeah.
It takes a while. Almost Conor McGregor's worse, but
hopefully they make him fight Tom Aspinall, or everybody will be pretty upset.
Yeah, it sounds like he's trying to kind of skip that. I don't know. He's
really
trying to shirk his way around that.
Dana
but
said he has to, so we'll see what happens.
We shall see. Well, you want to talk about Oliveira and Chandler?
Yeah, we'll just cover this one real quick. Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler put on one hell of a show. Now, Charles Oliveira broke the record for the most money accumulated from fight bonuses. He always goes out there and puts on a show. Michael Chandler, you gotta hand it. So Oliveira won the fight with a decision afterwards. He clearly won it. Won about 4 out of the 5 rounds. But I would give that 5th round to Michael Chandler because the guy has no quit. He knew he was going to lose that fight. He knew he was behind in the rounds and the points, but he still went out there and put on a show and just body slammed Charles Oliveira twice in a row. Like he's, I'm not going to say Chris Benoit, but that's the guy that used to do it. But,
the old German suplex.
Yep. Something kind of like, it wasn't quite like a suplex, but he's just like, if you were to do a suplex in the UFC, that's kind of what it was. It's just they went out there and put on a show. And that's why, like, after that stupid Tyson thing, I was just like, I don't care about this. I want to see real fighting, and Saturday night delivered.
Yeah, there was one of the prelims. Oh, man, this guy got rocked with elbows.
I'm not sure. I watched a lot of the prelims.
I can't remember. They had to stop the fight because he got concussed, and they ended up stopping it, and he was pissed. But like when they stood him up, his ring, one of the guys on his corner ran in, like picked him up really fast, and then he stood there and he was just like,
oh, whoa.
And then the ring doctor came over and was like, "Nah, you're out." But dude, shit. The elbows like right away, just like, and it's like, it's like, oh man.
Yeah. And it was really interesting because this was the first event where they could start using the 12-6 elbows again. And, you definitely saw it in the Jon Jones fight where he was taking advantage of it.
The old 12-6ers.
Yep.
Just straight down.
Yep. Deadly. All right.
Well, though I want to hit one. We're not going to go fully into the penalty box thing, but there is one thing. Ovi watch. Alexander Ovechkin. Unfortunately,
I'm glad you covered this because this is unfortunate.
Yeah, he's out for a few weeks with the old
lower body injury.
The LBI or LLI, lower leg injury. Hit knees with one of the forwards on Utah in a 6-2 win. He did manage to score 2 goals though, and he is now 27 behind the great one. I think he's at 686, and he's got to get to.
Did you mention how he's leading the NHL?
Yeah, he was, he is technically. He's going to not be soon, but he's leading. It's one of his best years in scoring. I think the last time he led the league in scoring was 2022, and he was on a tear. And the dude's 39 years old, and then unfortunately something like this happens. Hopefully it's minor. Hopefully it's nothing crazy like a ACL or anything like that. But he did hit knees, and he was down. But he did go back out and skate around real quick. So hopefully it's minor, and we can see some, just a crazy, record get broken because it's insane.
Gonna be wild. Yeah, it's gonna be almost like the home run record or something.
Yeah, definitely. When we were all watching that, only to find out they were juicing.
Yep. Speaking of that, look at his shirt.
Yeah. Legalized steroids. That's right. Let's all get on TRT. You know what I mean? But it's time to get into the Daily Dose of Excellence. The man, the myth, the legend himself is going to get us started as he hits it hard, man. I got a little video. We're not going to be able to hear it. I'm going to try and figure that out, too. I don't like that.
For this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just her talking. They asked her what she thought about them all singing, and she talks about how it was amazing, and she's like, little did I know that having fun or going and doing something I love could give me, like, all this stuff.
That's so cool.
She just says she wished her twin sister was there.
No.
But,
2020.
Well, it's time for the Daily Dose of Excellence. And this one, we got a little clip we're going to have you watch. It is about Miss Peggy, and, Prime is really, like, she's basically like the new mascot, if you will. There's always Ralphie, but Miss Peggy has become a big prominent figure for CU since Dion came in, and he's really tried to put her on a pedestal. And over the weekend, she celebrated, well, actually it was today was her 100th birthday, but over the weekend, all of Folsom Field, all 58,000, sang her happy birthday, as she still goes out to games when she can. She doesn't travel anymore, but she still goes and sits in the stands. She doesn't go sit in a box or anything. She's out there with the fans. So this is her with Coach Prime, and she's getting asked what it was like to have the whole, stadium basically singing happy birthday to her. So that is coming right now.
To have the whole football stadium sing happy birthday to you on Saturday.
Repeat the question.
Your whole football stadium saying happy birthday to
Oh,
you?
what does that mean? Well, I haven't even comprehended it yet. But I cried. And I just thank God for my life and for all the friends and for everything that's happened to me. I just wish my twin sister were here. It all started because we were twins. And I can't deny that we've been loyal fans. But I said to get all this attention for just having a good time is unbelievable.
Yeah, so in that clip, it's a really cool thing just to see her. There's another video of her at the stadium when everybody's singing and she's just crying. And, like, the one thing, you take away is she says, above all else, I wish my sister could be here with me, my twin. Her twin sister passed away in 2020, I believe. But it's just a really great thing to see. Not many people make it to 100, and I do feel like she's kind of, like, helping this team rally around something. And, I think they want to get to a bowl game for her. They're on the way to do that. And Prime says he wants to get her a Big 12 championship. So
that would be awesome.
It's pretty cool. I mean, they have Miss Peggy merch and stuff. She's become a real prominent figure, and it's something cool to see.
Oh, it's so awesome. It says here, she's been going to just CU events, not just football games, since 1940.
That's crazy.
And her and her twin sister Betty, back when Betty was still alive, had gone to an estimated 2,500 CU sporting events over the decades.
Yeah, they always sat in the same seats. They've had season tickets every year, and it's cool to see.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I forget who it was. There was that college team, like Sister Mary something or other, and they had like that nun that was like.
Yeah,
90-some
college
years old.
basketball.
Yeah, I forget who it was.
They had a Cinderella team a couple years ago.
But yeah, stuff like this is always cool to see, and we all could hope that we can make it to 100 for one, and be as on it as Peggy is. If you watch in that interview, you wouldn't think she's 100 years old. So hats off to her, man.
Story.
It's a cool story, and I hope that we get to see her get to see CU win a bowl game and maybe win a championship this year. So
they got a big one this weekend.
Big one this weekend. They're taking down KU. Chad's going to be sad singing songs.
It will be upsetting if they lose, but it will be really great to know that Peggy will enjoy this.
There you go. Peggy will be happy. But that's going to do it for us.
That's right.
What do we have something on the books for next week?
Yeah, we do. We have a Browns insider.
Oh, that's right. We've got the Browns guy coming on.
Yeah.
Talk
Cleveland
about.
Browns.
Sorry to have back-to-back kind of bummer weeks with the guests in terms of what's going on, but nonetheless, it's good to get the insights from the different teams.
Early scoop on what they're wanting for next season.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're doing.
Exactly.
We're the inside edition.
Yeah.
Yep.
I did kind of want to start doing something like, what are we looking forward to this week? Or like something we're looking forward to watching. I don't know.
Okay.
But I mean, it's the KU-CU game this week.
Well,
but I
I'll
was
tell
thinking,
you one thing.
What? Tell me.
Tonight, Dr. Phil's special.
Oh, is it tonight?
She got me a new shirt.
Oh.
She got herself one too, because we're gonna go
Kill
see
Tony?
Dr. Phil on Valentine's Day in Denver. And
it's out tonight, huh? On Netflix.
It is out tonight. Dr. Phil interviews Dr. Phil. When my mom came and visited, I showed her Dr. Phil, and she cracked up. It was awesome. I was like, I had to show my mom that.
Yeah, they added the 13th as well. There's another date. Yeah. So the first one sold out here, and they added another one. So
he's doing a big
it's
tour.
pretty cool. Yeah, so there you go. That's something to look forward to.
What are you looking forward to?
I'm going to have to say beating the Raiders because that's always good.
Oh, man, I hear you. That's good.
And no matter when they're bad, good, it's always good to beat the Raiders.
Sorry,
and know
Tyler.
that some Raiders fan probably got beat up for talking shit because that's usually what happens. I always feel like the Raiders fans.
Man, they're mouthy, that's for sure.
They are. But that's going to do it for episode 108. We appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in.
Thank you.
We had a bunch of downloads last week while we were gone, so that was exciting.
Nice.
Over 100 downloads. So on a week when you're not recording, that's good. So thank you guys. Keep sharing, following us on all things social media.
Thank you, SDR Collectibles.
_Fanatics. Just thank you, SDR. Thanks, Mark Martin Archery. We will see you guys next week.
Farewell.